beautiful ones, welcome to your practice today. Today we're going to be focusing physically a little more on the shoulders, so the chest, the shoulders, upper back, just looking to create a little bit more freedom and ease there for you. And I'm also hoping to just add a few droplets of inspiration from one of the Buddhist awakening factors, which is investigation. So this idea of a gentle curiosity, opening to whatever is our own direct experience, rather than listening to what someone else might tell you or teach you, learning from our own direct experience. So I will be just dropping in a few little questions for inquiry and investigation as you move through the practice, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to start seated. Just come and sit comfortably. I'm sitting on a cushion cross-legged, but you might be kneeling or sitting up on a block. You are going to need something you can use as a strap. So it might be a belt, it might be a scarf or a towel. And if you happen to have a block, then have that nearby. You might be using that with me later too. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it, okay? But the strap will be very useful. We're going to use it right away to begin with. So come and meet me in your comfortable seat, however that's going to look for you today. And have your strap nearby and just take a moment to sit tall, resting the hands on the legs. And you might even just roll the shoulders up and back and down, and just take a moment to take a deep breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our strap or our scarf or our towel and bring the hands out nice and wide on the strap today. So if it's too narrow, you won't have a lovely, smooth, easeful movement. So we want the hands wide. You can always bring them in closer together as we move on. And then pull the strap or the towel nice and taut, nice and tight. And just hold the arms here in front of you, the strap here in front of you. Take a moment. And then as you're ready, we'll just start to lift the arms up overhead and then back down in front of us. And we'll just repeat this a few times. And when you're ready, you can start to lift the arms up overhead and a little bit back behind you and back up and forward, and just continuing like this. And you'll know if the hands are too close together, if it feels impossible to lift the arms back behind you without moving one arm at a time. So see if you can have the hands far enough apart that you can bring both arms and hands back behind you simultaneously, smoothly. And just, what are you noticing right now? Where are the sensations most clear for you as you gently floss your shoulders with this movement? We'll do a few more. Noticing where the sensations are most clear for you. And for the last few rounds, if it's starting to feel a little more easeful and you want to try to bring the hands in a little closer toward one another, you can, experimenting with that. Keeping the hands pulling apart from one another on your strap, your belt, your towel. Where are the sensations most clear for you as you do this? Let's do one more. The arms might be getting a little tired now. And the next time the arms come back up, forward and down, you can just release the strap and put it off to one side and let the arms drop for a moment. Feeling the echoes of that, and feel free to adjust the position of the legs if things are starting to feel a little uncomfortable. Okay, and now let's reach the arms out wide and up overhead. Turn the palms forward, bend the elbows and come into a cactus shape with the arms. Elbows about the height of the shoulders. And there's this feeling of the inside of your elbows wanting to draw apart, away from one another. So there's lots of space and openness across the front of your chest right now. And then let's do the opposite. We're going to bring the elbows in toward one another. Turn the palms to face your face and press your elbows and your forearms into one another. And see if you can keep the elbows the height of the shoulders and just noticing where the sensations are most clear for you. So inviting that gentle curiosity, that quality of investigation. And then if you can, keep your elbows pressing together, but pull the wrists and the hands apart. And notice what changes here for you, how the sensations change when you do that. And then we'll release and open the elbows wide, just cactusing the arms once again. Okay, let's come into eagle arms. So now we'll cross right arm on top of left arm, bend the elbows, lift the forearms and the hands, eagle arms. And if that's a little much, then just holding opposite elbows. And we'll bring elbows lifted today, up away from the chest. And a little tilt of your forearms to the right as you drop your left ear over your left shoulder. And feel free to just tilt and lift the chin a little bit here as you drop your left ear over your left shoulder. And then we'll bring the head and the forearms to center. Open the elbows wide, cactus the arms, and straight to second side. Left arm on top of right arm. Fingertips lifting towards the ceiling. Forearms drawing away from your face. And if you're taking the variation holding opposite shoulders, then you won't be tilting the forearms. It'll be just the little tilt of your head. So as you're ready, tilting the forearms a little to the left and dropping the right ear over the right shoulder. And a little lift and drop of the chin, just easing in a little bit to that left side of the neck and the top of the shoulder there on the left side. And then we'll come back to center, forearms and head to center. Open the arms, cactus them for me one more time. And then we'll exhale and release. You might want to have a few shoulder rolls now. Just allowing the arm bones to feel heavy as you roll the shoulders up and back and down. Take a breath. So we're going to do one more thing seated and then we're going to come off our seat. So if you need to adjust your seat, please feel free to. I don't want your legs to get too uncomfortable. So now let's take our right arm, reach the arm straight forward in front of you, like you're going to shake somebody's hand, and then we'll make a fist with the hand here. Now we're going to swing the arm back alongside us and behind us. And as you have the arm alongside you and behind you, you'll feel the muscle in the back of your arm, your triceps, engaging to bring the arm into that extension, right? And then we're going to rotate the whole arm from our shoulder so that the inside of your wrist faces upwards. And then we'll keep that. Bend the elbow and bring the arm to the lower back, mid-back. So the back of your right fist and forearm are now pressing gently into your back. And as you do that, just noticing sensations maybe in the right shoulder. And then we'll take the left arm, reach the left arm forward, make a fist. And this one we're going to reach the arm up overhead, bend the elbow, and now imagine you want to cinch or bring your fists in closer toward one another behind you. So we won't let the fingers go and take a hold of them today. We're going to work with the muscles in the shoulders a little more than that. So we're just imagining we're drawing the fists in toward one another. Keep pressing the back of your right fist and forearm into your back. Chin parallel to the floor. Easy breath. And then we'll release. So it's quite a good little workout and opener for the shoulders so far, isn't it? Let's do the last side. So left arm reaches forward. Make a fist. Reach the arm back behind you. Before you go anywhere, just feel the triceps working. Internally rotate the arm. So the inside of your left wrist now faces up towards the ceiling behind you. Feel that. And then bend the elbow and bring the back of the left fist and forearm onto the back. And just gently pressing the fist and the forearm into the back. This sort of practice, this really practicing with awareness and these sort of movements, so helpful for your shoulders, especially if we spend a lot of time sitting, working in front of a screen. So let's reach the right arm forward, make a fist, reach the arm up overhead, bend the elbow, let the fist fall back behind the back of your skull, and gently imagine you're drawing the fists in towards one another. And as you keep your chin parallel to the floor, see if you can keep the front of your rib cage gently drawing into the body. So you're not overarching the spine. Everything's staying pretty neutral there. And one more breath. Just relax the jaw a little if it's feeling a little tight. Soft eyes. And then we will release and relax. Okay, let's come off our seat now, beautiful ones. So just pop your whatever you were sitting on off to one side and go ahead and come into your first downward facing dog here. So hands and feet can be about shoulder width distance, and just easing in, doing whatever you like to do, bicycle through the legs, bend alternate knees. And if you are one of those people, of which I can be too, I have a tendency for this, that can get really tight across the top of the shoulders here and the upper trapezius, then you might in your downward facing dog today experiment with having the hands maybe just a little bit wider than the shoulders. And instead of the fingers facing straight forward towards the top of the mat, just turning them ever so slightly outward. So the index fingers, the second or the first finger, the index fingers, are pointing straight up towards the top of the mat. And this for many of us can just release a little bit of that overworking that can happen there, right in the tops of the shoulders. So let's just take another moment here together. And you might inquire here, where do you feel the breath most easily right now? Next exhale, we'll gently lower the knees down to the mat and come onto all fours. And we'll keep our hips right up above our knees today and step our hands a giant step forward, like we're going to come into puppy pose or anahatasana. And keep your hands out nice and wide as the mat. We're going to add a little variation today. So we'll step our right hand over next to our left hand, anchor the right hand, and then place the left hand on top, like the left hand wants to pin the right hand down. Anchor through the fingertips and then bend the elbows enough so you can slide your head through your arms. And then straighten the arms and slowly lower the forehead and the chest towards the mat. And if you feel like you have the space for it today, you might lean your right shoulder a little bit to the right and down towards the mat, like you're just gently dipping your right shoulder down towards the mat. And to come out, we'll lift the head first, press down into the hands, lift the chest. Take the left hand off the right hand, bring the right hand back over to the right side of the mat. We'll go second side, left hand across to right hand. Pin the left hand down with your right hand. Bend the elbows, slide the head through, and start to gently melt the heart, the chest, the shoulders down. Breathing here. Gently leaning into and dropping the left shoulder towards the mat. And do you notice any difference between sides here today? And then we'll lift the head, press the hands down, lift the chest. Gently walk the hands back in under the shoulders. We'll come back to our downward facing dog. And if you want to step the hands wider and turn the hands out a little today, go ahead. Experimenting. It's a lovely thing about having a great yoga teacher is that they allow you to experiment in your body so you can really investigate, stay curious and find out what works best for you. There's no one right way for everyone. Okay, let's walk our feet forward to our hands, beautiful ones. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of the mat. And we'll have a little softness in the knees and let's slowly roll to stand today, vertebra by vertebra. Sequentially rolling up your beautiful spine. And as you arrive, you might roll the shoulders up and back and down again, standing in Tadasana. Okay, let's enjoy just a couple of standing poses today. This might be where you choose to use your block. So we'll have our block towards the top of the mat and let's just step out, a nice big step out to the side. So now you're facing the long edge of the mat, feet parallel, nice wide stance, hands to the waist. Let's start with our right leg first today, warrior two. So right toes turning forward and you'll want to make sure your block's outside your right foot if you're using it. Left toes in a little, nice deep bend through the right knee and just take a moment to settle in. You might pulse a little through the front leg as you just ease into the inner thighs here. That can be really nice. Noticing where you feel grounded, Where do you feel light? Reach the arms when you're ready. Warrior two. And let's take our back arm and do something similar to what we did at the beginning of practice. Make a fist with the left hand. Rotate the arm so the inside of the wrist faces backwards. Bend the elbow and bring the fist in the forearm to the lower back. So you're going to just have the forearm and the fist resting there on the lower back, and gently press the fist and the forearm into the lower back and noticing how does that change sensation for you in this left shoulder. So there's that inquiry, that investigation. And now we'll bring right forearm to thigh or right hand to block or to floor outside the right foot for side angle pose. Steady the breath, and just to keep the neck nice and free today, you might look down just to the floor in front of your front foot. And as you keep your top arm in this little half bind, let's come into a half moon. So heel toe the back foot, the left foot in a little closer to the front foot. Shift the weight forward, bring the block with you if you're using it. And lift the left leg, the back leg up behind you. Half moon with a little half bind of that top arm. Staying curious and open, even in all the little wobbles if you're having a wobbly day. And then you might release that top arm and reach the fingertips up to the ceiling above you. One more in-breath. And on the out-breath, let's bend the right knee. Step the left foot back. Come back to warrior two. And then we'll straighten through the right leg. Turn the right toes in, feet parallel. Let's go straight to second side. So if you're like me and you're using the block, just bring the block over to the second side, hands to the waist. Left toes turn forward. Nice deep bend through the left knee. Warrior two legs. Just easing into this side. Where do you feel light? Where do you feel grounded? No right or wrong answer, okay? Just staying curious, just investigating, inquiring. We'll reach the arms. And same again, right back arm, right arm, making a fist, rotating the whole arm so the inner wrist faces backwards. Bend the elbow, forearm and fist to lower back, gently creating resistance, pressing the forearm and the fist into the lower back. And then as you're ready, before your left leg gets too tired, let's come down, forearm to thigh, hand to block or floor. Just a gentle side angle pose here. Nearly there. Even in the challenge, staying open and curious to sensations. Where are they strongest for you right now? And we'll heel toe the back foot in, and we'll make that transition again, shifting the weight into the front foot, the left foot, moving the hand and the block forward as you straighten through the left leg and lift the right leg up. And in the balance, keeping your awareness on that top arm that's in that little half bind, because the awareness might have shifted a little bit to focusing on balance. And then you can release the top arm, reach it up. And then we'll bend left knee, lean forward and step lightly back. Warrior two, arms reaching one more time. And then we'll straighten through the left leg, hands to waist. Turn the left toes in, parallel the feet. And before we come down to the mat, let's just interlace the hands behind us. And as you reach the knuckles down towards earth behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades in toward one another today. Opening across the front of the chest. And take a lovely big inhale. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward over the legs. Wide-legged forward fold. Let the head and neck hang free. And then we'll release the hands to the mat and just pivot towards whatever is the top of your mat. Turning towards the top. And we'll step back. Just another brief downward facing dog. How does the breath feel here? Just taking a moment to tune in and notice how the shoulders feeling now. What's changed for you? And let's gently lower the knees to the mat. We're going to come into a dolphin pose with a little variation for the shoulders today. So let's come onto hands and knees all fours, wrists under shoulders. Then we'll bring the elbows onto the mat where the hands were. So elbows shoulder width distance apart. And today we're going to turn the palms to face upwards. And the invitation is to really focus on rotating your thumbs outwards towards the sides of the mat as you press the backs of your fingers, your fingernails, down into earth. And see if you can keep that as you tuck the toes and lift the hips into dolphin. And we'll just be here 3 to 5 breath cycles together. Couple more breaths. How are you relating to this shape, this pose right now? What's your present moment experience? When it's enough for you, next exhale, gently lower the knees to the mat, and you might just take a brief child's pose. Feel free to separate the knees a little to create space for baby if you're pregnant. You might separate the elbows, stack the hands, rest the forehead, just a breath or two. And we'll gently rise, coming up out of child's pose, and let's come down onto our backs to finish the practice with a bridge pose for your shoulders too. So we'll come on down, knees bent, soles of feet on the mat, feet hip width or a little wider. You can investigate and experiment with that too. Beginning with the arms alongside you, and let's press the feet down and lift the hips into a bridge. And then you might stay here, or you might lean to one side and step one shoulder in a little further underneath you, and then lean over to the other side and step the other shoulder underneath. So it feels a little more like you're really standing on the shoulder heads almost. And then you might hold the outer edges of the mat or interlace the hands underneath you. And as we just stay here together for a couple more breaths, is there anything that has been here all along in your practice that you're noticing just now? One more in-breath. And on the out-breath, releasing the interlace of the hands or the edge of the mat, allowing the shoulders to come out away from one another. And slowly coming back down. And you might hug the knees into the chest here. Little rock side to side. And from here, dear ones, you can let the knees go. You might stretch the legs out long now to take rest for Shavasana. Or if you've just got half an hour for your practice today, then come with me and roll over to one side. Gently press down and lift upwards, and just meet me in a comfortable seat and we'll close together. So whether you're reclining or seated, just settling into stillness and noticing the effects of the practice for you today. How is the body-mind instrument right now? What has changed for you? And if you're seated with me, you might lift the hands, fold the palms. Thank you for sharing your practice, for practicing with this gentle curiosity, this quality of inquiry, and for taking care of your beautiful shoulders, creating a little more space and ease. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.